Hello, this is Carolyn Pitts with IntendWell. In this video, I'd like to continue our conversation around being successful with transformational change in your life. And today, let's talk about a technique that I call Know Your Whys. When we set an intention, it's important to be clear on why that intention is important to us. Clarity around our whys is fuel for our motivation when the going gets rough. Let's try something. Think about one of your intentions. Take out a sheet of paper and write down why that intention is important to you. You can go ahead and do it now. Pause the video. I'll wait. Welcome back. How do you feel when you read over your list of reasons for your intention? Do they seem logical to you? Do you feel passionate about them? Do you feel really committed to them? Do you have some conflicting emotions? Let's take an example. Let's say your intention is to stop smoking. Now, you might feel that on the surface, the reasons are pretty obvious. Everybody knows smoking's bad for you. It's inconvenient because it often means standing outside in sometimes adverse weather conditions to have your cigarette. Tobacco prices keep rising. Your clothes smell bad. But maybe when you think about your list of whys, those are all very logical reasons. But maybe there's something more to that. Maybe you like the experience of smoking. Maybe you like how it makes your brain feel. Maybe hanging out in smoking lounges has been a positive experience for you. You've had good conversations. You've met some really nice people. The expense, yeah, but it's not really a problem. And stinky clothes? Really? No one's mentioned it. So in that situation, that intention has a high probability of failure because the reasons for the intention are logical reasons up here in the head. So in this situation, while you might know in your head that there's some really good reasons to stop smoking, you don't have heartfelt reasons to quit. And that is an intention with a high probability of failure. And when it fails, you're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to maybe beat yourself up for your lack of willpower. So in that situation, I would recommend not even starting the intention until you know that you have some heartfelt reasons that are going to keep you committed when the going gets rough. Enjoying your scratch and post there, buddy? So let me give you an example from my life. For many years, I have enjoyed a glass of wine with dinner and often another glass of wine after dinner. Wine was a hobby for me. I took classes about it. I learned how to do wine tasting. I belonged to multiple wine clubs. It was a great source of pleasure for me. And then one day, last summer, so about 6-7 months ago, I read an article by the CDC and realized that my level of alcohol consumption qualified as heavy drinking. So I knew I needed to cut back. So I set the intention to only have a glass of wine every other evening. And I made it for about 2 weeks. And it wasn't long before I was back to my nightly glass of wine with dinner and often another glass after dinner. But back in November, I opened up YouTube one morning, and for some reason, the video at the top of my queue was by Dr. Andrew Huberman talking about the effect of alcohol on our body, our brain, our health. And as I listened to Dr. Huberman, my perception of wine shifted. It was no longer simply something that I enjoyed, but I was struck by the number of times Dr. Huberman referred to alcohol as poison, as he described in detail the chemical reactions that happen within our body and the stress that it puts on our liver. Well, I love my body. I work really hard to take care of it. So now I had a heartfelt reason to cut back on my drinking. So this time I went back to my intention, and I didn't wait for January 1. We've talked about that. I set the intention to only drink at social events. And for the next 4 weeks, I didn't have anything that I went out of the house to a social event, and I didn't have any alcohol for 4 weeks. And ever since then, I've been successful at only having alcohol at social events. It's not always been easy. There was one night not too long ago, I was watching a show on TV, and it seemed everybody was drinking a glass of wine. And suddenly I could smell the aroma. I could see that beautiful ruby red. I imagined what it would taste like, and I thought about that dwindling supply of wine bottles in the kitchen, and I was sorely tempted to go open one. But then I remembered, alcohol is poison. I thought about what it would do to my body. And that heartfelt reason kept me from going and opening a bottle of wine. Now, before I go on, I just want to say I used alcohol consumption as an example from my own life because I want to be authentic with you. But there are situations where reducing or eliminating alcohol consumption in your life is beyond intention setting. In those situations, honor yourself, go to an AA meeting, find a sponsor, find a qualified therapist to work with. So my recommendation is to go back to the video, Reprogramming Your Autopilot. Revisit what you wrote about how you would feel when you achieve your intention. And add to that heartfelt reasons why that intention is important to you. There's a saying, we can be successful at anything we set our mind to. Well, I say, you can be successful at anything you set your heart to. So thanks so much for joining me. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and remember, the best things in life are intentional.